the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
How are they going to get off the mat for that? Like immediately, you got to go on the road in the SEC against a better than what most folks expected. Like it's actually pretty nice that Tennessee is going to get a little bit of a gap here between all the emotions that went into that Georgia game, and you get kind of you still got to take care of business on Saturday, but you get kind of a breather, on Saturday to get ready for Mississippi State. You don't have to immediately go on the road to Mississippi State, because that I would be very, very fascinated to see how Tennessee responds in that scenario, but they're not going to be asked to really do that on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, you're just not losing this game. It's just not going to happen. So
we'll never know. Jack Foster, Joey Aguilar moves up into the top 5 in Heisman odds. Could you see it play out where he gets to New York based on what you've seen through 3 weeks?
Only if Tennessee wins out, I think. I think Tennessee...
They have to go 11-1?
I believe so. Just because preseason, prognostication of Aguilar wasn't as high as some other guys, so he has a lot of ground to make up there. Obviously, people know about him now, and he's a lot of fun. He's easy to root for. I feel like after 2 years of just complete boring football for Tennessee's offense, now that it's fun again, people are buying all the way back in like they were in 2022. It doesn't have the same magic, and obviously it's really early in the season, but it feels a lot more like 2022 with this offense than the last 2 seasons, just because of the quarterback play. You can tell Aguilar just gets this system and can execute at a higher level than Nico and Joe could. So yes, I think it is possible, but I would think that Tennessee has to win out. There's just too many other guys. I mean, Carson Beck may walk his way to New York just by winning a lot of games at Miami. The ACC is obviously not good, so I think Miami is the best team in the league. John Mateer feels like, he's the front runner. He's the hammer right now. Oklahoma feels to be a really good team. We'll see what happens in Knoxville. That maybe could be the deciding factor between those 2 quarterbacks. Outside of that, TBD. I mean, we'll see what kind of season Texas A&M can put together. I think people could buy into Marcel Reed. I don't know why Tommy Castellanos, I use DraftKings for betting. He is still pretty low on the Heisman odds. I mean, Florida State scored 77 in week 2 and beat Alabama pretty convincingly in week 1. Castellanos could be there too. Again, a weak ACC league. So I just think there's too many other guys for Aguilar to make it unless Tennessee wins out. And I believe if Tennessee wins out, it's because Aguilar was a stud all year long.
I think that's fair. I think Castellanos and Beck will cancel each other out. One of those 2 will be a finalist based on where their season's headed. Yep. Haynes King deserves to be in that conversation. I just don't think he'll get there. I don't think Haynes is going to have I just have a hard time believing he's going to get there. The SEC is going to have a couple of quarterbacks. Like, that's my whole thing. It's like the SEC is going to get a couple to New York. John Mateer, probably the leader in that category, like you talked about, but you get him at home. Yep. So if Aguilar outplays Mateer with all of Heisman voters and national folks watching, that it's a narrative award. Like, that's a big part of it. If Aguilar, even it's a team game, but if Aguilar outduels Mateer and Aguilar has a better game, like, he'll vault John Mateer in that conversation. And it's just kind of, I think there's a lot of schedule left. I'm not surprised that he's in the top 5 right now, and depending on where you look. But right. I said after the game on Saturday, if Tennessee had won that game, I mean, I wouldn't go as far to say favorite, but he's definitely like the darling of Heisman odds. Like, I think the fact that he's still in the top 5 tells me that there is a lot of belief that this Joey Aguilar in Tennessee is going to be really good. Because like you said, like you're not going to win the Heisman unless you win 10 plus games. Like, you got to get into that conversation where you're somewhere in that playoff mix, and for Tennessee,
or just have an unbelievably stellar statistical season like Jaden Daniels,
which maybe, but I don't see that for Aguilar. I don't see that being his path.
No,
and I don't really see that with anybody in the mix this year. I don't think there's a Jaden Daniels situation here in 25.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Mateer would be the closest one just because of the rushing, and he can pass at a high level, but. Yeah, that's probably.
But their defense first. Like, they want to play ball control. Like, his numbers are not going to be crazy. Like, I don't think Mateer is going to put up crazy numbers. And Daniels had to do a lot more because the defense stunk, right? Like, that was part of what helped Jaden Daniels in a weird way. It didn't help him make the college football playoff, but it did help him put up more numbers because he had more possessions. So I think Aguilar is going to be in that group.
Yeah, I do think a Big Ten quarterback makes it as well. Whether that's if Penn State goes undefeated, Drew Aller feels like an obvious choice. Oregon goes undefeated. Maybe Dante Moore finds his way there. And then one that's been a lot of fun first couple weeks. A team actually Greg McElroy was very high on, picked to win the Big 12. Devin Dampier, Utah.
Yeah.
Maybe Utah can make some noise and Dampier could be in the mix. But yeah, outside of the names we've mentioned, I mean, I just don't think Sayin or Stockton will be good enough to make it.
No.
Jackson Arnold, no. Ty Simpson, no. Any other Big 12 quarterback, don't think so. Maybe
Arch
Jeremiah
is definitely
Smith.
out. DJ's out.
Yeah, maybe Jeremiah Smith could just be an animal all year long and win Ohio State some massive games and do it. I don't know. But yeah, I don't see anybody else really outside of the names we've touched on.
And I think what Aguilar is going to need too, to put a bow on it, he needs some guys around him to stay healthy. Like if Brazel and Staley are healthy all year, I mean, he's going to put up numbers. Like that's the whole thing. Is like he needs his starting three with Brazel, Staley, and Matthews to stay healthy. If those three are healthy, like we said at the beginning of the year, like you need 2,000 snaps from those three. And if you get them, you're going to be pretty okay. I think this passing game is going to be pretty potent. Like you saw Todd McShay, like Chris Brazel might be wide receiver 1 in his 2026 mock sooner rather than later. So there's real juice with Brazel and what he's gotten. And that's going to help Aguilar because receivers are going to cancel each other out. It's very rare that you have the Devontae Smith type deal. And I don't think you're going to see that with Tennessee with this group, but I do think that's going to very much help Joey Aguilar. So I think the narrative is going to help him. I think the spots that he still gets to play in at Alabama, Oklahoma at home, still goes to Florida at the end of the year. Like he's still going to be on the national stage many more times. And he passed the first test. Like even though they lost, Aguilar passed the first, this guy's got real juice. So I don't know. I think if he gets to 10 wins, my gut is if Tennessee wins 10 games, and Aguilar's healthy and Brazel and Staley are healthy for 12 games, I think he's a Heisman finalist. I'll go ahead and throw that out there. I think he makes the Heisman finals.
Yeah, and especially if the loss, I think a loss at home, another home loss to Oklahoma would hurt more than a road loss to Bama, and a loss to a potentially really bad Florida team would hurt more. So I think if the loss comes to Bama, which is what I feel like most people would bet on, like if I said, hey, Tennessee's losing a second game, who's it going to be to? You're going to pick Alabama first, I would think. So
that's what I would pick first.
Yeah, me too. So I also at the end of the year, you look at it, well, Tennessee lost on the road to, Alabama and Tuscaloosa close, and we all remember the Georgia thriller. So Tennessee could be 12-0 is what people could be saying.
And he also might beat Lagway, Mateer, and Diego Pavia in like a month span. Yeah. So that also helps, like in the forefront of people's minds. So I think it's definitely something to monitor. It's something I might jump on if I'm a Vol fan. I'm like, you want to jump on it now?
Nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas podcast. Hell yeah.